Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another mock draft, and this is going to be my final 2023 mock draft. I'm going to be quickly going through this. I'm not going to waste any time. First things first pick on the board. Carolina Panthers, they're going Bryce Young. I don't think it's even a debate anymore. It's not even a consensus. There's so many fingers pointing at it. There are people like yelling at me in the comments, oh, it's supposed to be CJ Stroud, and it's not. I can assure you it's going to be Bryce Young. And if it's not, I'm going to get roasted on this video. Anyways, Texans at number 2. They said their only consensus number 1 QB was Bryce Young. Since he's off the board and Lovie Smith screwed them out of that number 1 overall pick, they're going to take the best player available in Will Anderson Jr. And by the way, I'm not doing trades in this because it's so hard to predict trades. It's literally unpredictable what teams will do. Everyone's saying, oh, the Titans are going to trade up to 3. It hasn't happened yet. And trading from 11 to number 3 is going to take a lot, and a lot of teams won't be able to meet that need. So I'm just going to stick and pick here. If maybe the Colts swap with the Cardinals, I could see that. But unfortunately, I just can't do anything because I can't predict the future, okay? I'm trying my best here. So the Cardinals, I think they are going to have to take another edge rusher. Unfortunately, Will Anderson is off the board. PFF has him so low, but I am going to take Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech to the Arizona Cardinals. A lot of people are saying Paris Johnson Jr. can go here, which I could kind of see. I would think Peter Skoronski would be the better pick just because he's more polished prospect. But overall, I think this is pretty good. Now, at number 4, everyone's screaming at me, CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud, CJ Stroud. No, it's going to be Will Levis, in my opinion, because Will Levis, I already know Colts fans clicked off the video. I already know it's just going to be Will Levis to the Colts if he falls there. A lot of people are saying he's going number 2. I don't think so. I just think it's going to be Will Levis because there's so many fingers pointing at him to the Colts because the Colts literally said they are in love with Will Levis. They already said apparently they like QBs that put mayonnaise in their coffees and eat whole banana peels. But hey, if it makes you 6'3" and 235 pounds and a monster athlete, sure, I guess I'll start eating banana peels and put mayonnaise in my coffee. Anyways, pick number 5. In my last video, I got so much backlash for saying Jalen Carter wouldn't go to the Seahawks because he's a quote-unquote troublemaker. That is the reports I get. Whenever I see reports, I follow the reports because the reports know more than I do. Now the reports are saying Jalen Carter will not pass the Seattle Seahawks. So everyone's on my ass about that. Everyone was up my ass. And then my brother in my second mock draft said Seattle's going to take Devon Witherspoon over Jalen Carter. Everyone was on him about that. It was a huge deal. But now that the reports are all saying he's not going to pass 5, I think we're just going to go with that because I follow what the reports say because obviously the reports know more than I do. So Jalen Carter at number 5. At number 6, with the top defensive lineman off the board. What are you going to do here, Detroit? Everyone says Devon Witherspoon, he fits the scheme, he fits everything. He's a big man-to-man corner. I'm sorry, I'm going Christian Gonzalez here. I personally think he will be the first corner off the board. I just think there's more hype around him. It's just as simple as that. There's more hype around him, more people like him. That's all I got to really say about it. It's Christian Gonzalez at 6. Pick number 7. The Raiders already said they're not taking a QB here at 7. They're not going to do that. I mean, I think CJ Stroud here would be great for the Raiders, but they already said they're not going to do that. And honestly, Peter Skoronski or Devon Witherspoon would be one of the 2 I would take. They're going to do something stupid and probably take like Miles Murphy or some dumb shit. But anyways, I think they should go with Devon Witherspoon here. It's a huge need for him. All of the defense is a huge need. The Raiders suck. Anyways, pick number 8 for the Falcons. A lot of people have this as a trade back spot. Again, I cannot predict trades. It's just something you'll never see coming. That's what's so exciting about the draft. So pick number 8 for the Atlanta Falcons. They said they are determined, use the word determined, to keep Nolan Smith in Georgia. So I think that is what they're going to do here at 8 if they do not trade back. So pick number 9, Peter Skoronski is here to the Bears. I think it's as simple as that. A lot of people have Paris Johnson Jr. here. I think, again, Peter Skoronski, he can play guard or tackle just because of his arm length. People are saying if he can play guard or tackle, he has the versatility to do both. They had Tevin Jenkins, who was an offensive tackle, who they picked in the 2nd round, I believe a couple years ago, or maybe even last year. I'm pretty sure it was a couple years ago. And he moved into right guard. He moved in from, I think he was a left tackle, and then he went to right tackle, and now he's at right guard. So completely opposite position, but now they got Peter Skoronski to help out Justin Fields after getting DJ Moore. So I think that is a step in the right direction. Now, Eagles on the board. Everyone's going to be pointing their finger at Brian Branch. The Eagles have reportedly been trying to trade up. Yes, trade up in the draft for an edge rusher. You already know how he loves his his defensive lineman. And what is the best defensive lineman we got here? We got Myles Murphy on the board. Did I pass one? Is that it? Lucas Van Ness is another one. I could see Lucas Van Ness going here. Honestly, Myles Murphy might be the pick here. But I'm going to go on a stretch here and say, yeah, I'm going to go Lucas Van Ness, the Eagles. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, they need safety. They need DB. Oh my God, they should have taken Osiris Torrance, or they should have taken someone else here, not that. No. They've been saying they want more defensive linemen, and it makes more sense for the Eagles. They just love stacking the D-line and making it impenetrable for any players to get past them. Now, the Titans here at 11. The Titans have been talking about quarterback the entire time. The slide of C.J. Stroud is going to stop here. And he's going to the Tennessee Titans, and people are going to be like, oh my God, this is an absolute steal. I do think the CJ Stroud slide is real. Same thing with Anthony Richardson, and perfect. What convenience for the Houston Texans. I think the Vikings might jump this, honestly. The Vikings might jump the Titans or something like that, or they try to do something with this pick. But for now, since I'm not making trade, Anthony Richardson is here, and he is going to the Houston Texans. So 2 great picks worked out for the Texans. And then at pick 13 for the Green Bay Packers, JSN is here. Everyone's saying JSN to the Packers, JSN to the Packers. I honestly feel like they're not going to do that. I feel like they're going to go with offensive lineman or Dalton Kincaid here. And I am going to go Dalton Kincaid, as they are going to pass on JSN. Everyone's going to be pissed at me for that pick, but I do think they're going to take Dalton Kincaid over JSN. Now with the Patriots pick here, it's going to be as simple as this. JSN is here. Usually I would go cornerback in this spot, but since JSN is on the board, you're going to take JSN here at pick number 14 to the New England Patriots. Pick 15 for the New York Jets. I do think they're going to go offensive tackle here, and I do think it's going to be Broderick Jones over Paris Johnson. We got a little mini slide going here for Paris Johnson. I just think that's the pick. They're more interested in offensive tackle. There's not really many linebackers on the board, so I do think that's what's going to be the pick here. Then at pick 16 for the Commanders, they didn't pick up the 5th-year option for Chase Young, so now everyone's saying they're going to take an edge rusher or a DB. I honestly still think it's going to be a DB. I don't think it's going to be an edge rusher, and I'm going to take Joey Porter to the Washington Commanders. I know this draft seems scuffed, and I know the Steelers fans in my comments are pissed. They're like, oh, he was supposed to go to the Steelers. No, he's going to the Commanders. But the Steelers at 17. You got a lot here you need. You need DB, maybe even another edge rusher. Because, I mean, TJ Watt's great and all, but still you have some edge rushers that are getting old on your team. But I think they're going to go Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. They need to help Kenny Pickett on that offensive line. It is total garbage. Who do they have on that offensive line? James Daniels? That's it? Like, nothing really much there. Anyways, pick 18 with the Lions. Bijan's not going to lead the teens. One of the most athletic running backs here, and I don't believe in DeAndre Swift. He just, at first, whenever he was drafted, I believed in him, but he isn't panning out, and Jamal Williams left. So the Lions get Bijan, and they get Christian Gonzalez, 2 great players to add on both offense and defense. Now for the Buccaneers at pick number 19, we got a bunch of things here. Paris Johnson, Myles Murphy, Deonte Banks. They can go really any route they want here because they need everything, but I do think they're going to go with Kalijah if he is here at pick number 19. Kalijah to the Buccaneers. Pick 20 for the Seattle Seahawks. I had them taking Jalen Carter. So they could go edge rusher here in Myles Murphy. They have Uchenna Nwosu, have Jalen Carter. They have a lot here. They could take Paris Johnson, who's sliding. But again, I just don't see it. Abraham Lucas was pretty good last year. Charles Cross was pretty good last year. They could go a lot of routes. I think they're going to go with Myles Murphy here. I think that's what I'm going to take. Myles Murphy to the Seattle Seahawks. Everyone's going to be pissed at me for Paris Johnson Jr. sliding this far, but I just don't know where to put him at this point. Maybe he could go to the Chargers at right tackle, and I think that could be the pick here. Everyone's pointing at either Michael Mayer here, Jordan Addison, anything you want here. They won't go safety. I'm really looking down this board now. Or Cyrus Torrance. I don't think they're going to go O-line again. They went back-to-back offensive line. They're going to go with something. Man, what do I take? I'm really conflicted here. Really, really, really conflicted. I think if Jordan Addison's here, they're going to go Jordan Addison. They would have to take that with how the board fell. The Ravens are on the clock. Man, we have Ronnie Stanley. He gets injured all the time. Right tackle is kind of a need. We drafted Tyler Linderbaum, but I feel like, man, Deonte Banks is here. Quentin Johnson's here. Deonte Banks on the board. We're going to keep him in Maryland. I feel like that just fits so well. Deonte Banks to the Ravens. I'm a Ravens fan. I know. I would like to draft a receiver, but with how this board fell and Jordan Addison going right in front of me, it's just not okay. And then with the Vikings on the clock, I could easily see them trading up, but with how this board fell already, Paris Johnson, they don't necessarily need offensive tackle. They more like need a guard. I'm going to go Quentin Johnson here. Then, this happens just today, right before I made this video, Cam Robinson has been suspended for doing PEDs. So you need a new offensive tackle. Paris Johnson Jr. to the Jacksonville Jaguars. His slide finally stops. I feel like he could go way higher than that, of course. I could feel like he becomes a top 10 pick. It's just debatable. You never know. I just feel like I didn't know where to put him, especially since I'm not putting in trades in this mock draft. But he is going to 24 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And for pick 25 for the Giants, they have Xavier McKinnon. They just lost Jordan Love. Brian Branch is still here. I think they're going to go Brian Branch if he is on the board. Then the Dallas Cowboys are on the board next. I'm going to scroll down here. Where did they put him? Brian Brzee. I always draft Brian Brzee to the Cowboys defense because their D-line and their run defense sucks. Sure, their pass rushing with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence is amazing, but Brian Brzee, they need to beef up that defensive run game. Now, the Buffalo Bills on the board. You have O'Cyrus Torrence here. Is there any other edge rushers you would like? No, I think they will go O'Cyrus Torrence since he is here. Of course, I feel like that's a great steal for them. And then the Bengals on the clock. They could go tight end. They could go offensive tackle here. Actually, no, the Bengals just got Orlando Brown Jr. So I'm going to take Emmanuel Forbes at Mississippi State. They do desperately need some DBs. And yeah, a lot of receivers here are falling, as you can see, with Zay Flowers and Josh Downs. I can see him being a first-round prospect. But with the New Orleans Saints, they desperately need some D-line help, like, bad. Because Cam Jordan's getting old. Peyton Turner, hate to break it to you, Peyton Turner's a bust. And the rest of your interior defensive line kind of sucks. I'm going to go Will McDonald here out of Iowa State. Help out that defensive line. And then the Eagles. Man, there's a lot of things that they can go here. They usually like to beef up their defensive line. I already took Lucas Van Ness. Man, Jamar Gibbs could be an option here. I feel like he could sneak in. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Jamar Gibbs to the Eagles. As much as I hate taking 2 first-round running backs, that's just how it's going to play out. And then the Chiefs have been talking about trading up in the draft for wide receiver Zay Flowers and how convenient that he has fallen all the way to 31 for them. Zay Flowers to the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is what I got for my final mock draft. Is it going to be accurately correct? No, I probably won't even get the top 5 picks correct, especially with the Cardinals. I'm so iffy on that. I feel confident in Bryce Young. I'm confident in Will Anderson. I'm confident in the Will Levis going to the Colts. And then I feel confident that Christian Gonzalez is going to be the first DB off the board over Devon Witherspoon. Nolan Smith to the Falcons. I don't know if he'll be able to go there because I feel like the Falcons could trade back. CJ Stroud, I feel confident in his slide. I don't know necessarily if I'm going to feel confident in Anthony Richardson's slide, but this is what we got going here. Anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know if you did or didn't like this draft. I'm sure a bunch of people didn't like it because there wasn't any trades, but I can't predict the future always. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.